Hi everyone. Before we start the video, remember, follow the 4 steps below to improve your English 5x faster. Number 1. Listen and watch the video, pausing and noting any words that are new to you. Number 2. Study the new words with the English dictionary. Do not translate. Number 3. Watch the video again without pauses. Number 4. Watch the video in 2x speed. Let's begin the story. I go to New York. I still remember the night my life changed. It was a hot evening in Mumbai, and the city was as busy as always. I had just finished work at a small software company, feeling stuck in the same routine. That's when I got the email. Congratulations. You have been accepted into the master's program at New York University. My heart beat fast as I read it. Growing up, New York always seemed like a magical place where dreams came true. And now, my dream was real. I was excited and nervous because I didn't know what to expect. At first, my happiness didn't last long. When I told my family, they were worried. My mother said, "New York is so far away. What if something happens to you?" My father was more practical. "How will you pay for it? The tuition, the rent, the food? We don't have much money to help," he said. For weeks, I felt torn between my dream and my family's concerns. Sometimes I thought about staying in Mumbai and forgetting New York. But deep inside, I knew I had to take this chance. I got a partial scholarship, saved some money, and decided to go. The day I left arrived. At the airport, I hugged my family goodbye. My mother gave me a small pouch of turmeric and rice for good luck. She said, "No matter how far you go, remember your roots." The flight was long, and I felt both excited and scared. When I landed at JFK Airport, a cold wind hit me. There were so many different people speaking, so many languages. This was the beginning of my new life. The first few weeks in New York were hard. I got lost on the subway many times. My Indian accent made people ask me to repeat myself. I missed home every time I smelled pizza instead of biryani. But then I met Ramesh, another student from Bangalore who had been in New York for a year. He showed me how to survive, where to buy cheap groceries in Jackson Heights, and how to deal with student loans. Ramesh became my first friend in New York. Still, things weren't easy. My classes were very difficult, and my professors expected a lot. Sometimes I felt like I didn't belong. I was sad when I failed my first programming assignment. Thanksgiving was the hardest because I spent it alone in my small dorm room, looking at pictures of my family celebrating in India. Over time, things got better. I joined a student group for international students and met people from many countries. They had their own struggles and successes, and their stories gave me hope. Slowly, New York felt less scary and more like a place full of opportunities. A big moment came when I got an internship at a small tech company in Brooklyn. The job was not fancy, but it was my first step into the professional world in New York. The work was tough, and I had to learn a lot quickly, but it gave me confidence and purpose. Just when I thought everything was going well, bad news came. My father had a heart attack in India. I felt so helpless being so far away. I wanted to go home right away, but my mother stopped me. "Your father is stable now," she said. "Don't let this stop you from chasing your dreams. We believe in you." Her words gave me strength. I worked even harder, knowing that my family had made sacrifices for me to be here. I wanted to make them proud. A few months later, I graduated with top grades. My parents watched the ceremony online, and I saw the pride in their eyes. The best part came when I got a full-time job at a big tech company in Manhattan. Now, I could support myself and send money home to help my family. New York no longer felt strange. It had become a city of achievements, memories, and hope. With my new success, I realized it was time to visit home. I booked a flight to Mumbai and couldn't wait to see my family. When I arrived, they welcomed me with hugs, smiles, and my mother's homemade samosas. We sat together at the dinner table. I told them everything about my life in New York. "I learned so much," I said, But the most important lesson is that no matter where I go, home is always here. When I returned to New York, I felt stronger and more focused. My journey had changed me, but it also reminded me of my roots. I started helping new international students, sharing my story to guide them through their own challenges. New York is a city that tests you, shapes you, and shows you who you really are. For me, it became more than a dream. It was a place where I found myself. Standing on the Brooklyn Bridge, looking at the city lights, I knew my adventure was just beginning.